5 long minutes. Hi friends, host Eric here with host Delilah, and she's an ENTP
Are
female.
you already streaming?
Yeah, it's streaming. And she's an ENTP female.
Wait, how long have you been streaming for?
Since I pushed the click right there. The thing is, if there's a delay, it won't start showing up as streaming on the other end for like a minute or two. But anyway.
So like the past like 30 seconds you've been streaming?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so anyway, I'm here with Delilah. Alright, let me.
Cigarette smoke is overwhelming.
I'm sorry, I will put it up with my hand. Do you want to use cigarette putter out or?
Not this thing. It's this thing. Did you use your fidget spinner for size reference?
No, I just drilled that size drill bit. That's counter-valued TE right there. Okay, so this is Delilah. She's an ENTP. She's my daughter. She's 18 years old, and she is one of typology's rare bird community called the female NT. She's an ENTP like me, and her mother started calling her Eric Jr. when she was like 3 months old, because she was already just like me. Anyhow, Delilah, though, of course, is a female, and I am a male. More normal for a male ENTP, they're less uncommon. So, what I want to ask Delilah about is how she feels. I'm going to ask her some typing questions. I want to sort of get a sense of her answers to them. What do you prioritize more in general, Delilah? Do you prioritize authenticity or legitimacy?
They don't go hand in hand?
How about authenticity or fairness?
Probably authenticity, I mean, I'm sure, right?
Okay, well, let's imagine the following scenario. You're judging something. The second person who did the performance, they broke a minor rule, and you didn't consider that in your evaluation of them because you liked that performance a lot overall. And then there's a later one, which is a really good performance too, but you don't really quite like it as much, but you think, well, maybe it's technically better, and then you go, but he made the same exact little mistake. So authentically, you think this mistake matters in the situation, but it didn't really matter before. So it's okay for you to treat them differently. But fairly, you ought to treat them the same. What do you think you should prioritize?
Wait, but aren't they the same? I'm confused. Oh, so like to just not consider it. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would just choose the one I like better.
Yeah, well, that's the actual way we do it. Okay, but what ought, if you were, instead of being you're saying to somebody else, what ought they do in that circumstance? What ought they do?
Well, like the thing is like, well, I don't know, because it makes it a different thing, because if they both made the mistake, then you have to consider it. If the one I liked better made the mistake, and the other guy didn't, I don't know.
Then you could go, oh, well, that mistake, I'm not considering that mistake for anybody, because only the guy I liked made that mistake, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then.
Okay.
It's a variant on the troll question. It's a simpler one.
So what question?
It's a variant on the troll question. It's a shorter question, easier to answer. Okay, so you're the mayor of a village in the Middle Ages, okay? One day you're in the office, and a gang of about 12 people come to the office and say, Mayor, there's a troll. He is taking up residence in the river near our city. We're very concerned. He's about 10 feet tall. He's ugly as sin. He's got big, bumpy, sharp things on his skin, and he has a big club. And we're worried, and we think we need to do something about it.
I'm the mayor.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? What do you think we should? We're here to get a solution from you, Mayor.
Oh, I should go talk to the troll.
Okay, well, let's go. So you and the villagers go to talk to the troll. You get to the river, the troll is in the river, but he doesn't see you. Now, it occurs to you this might be a moment for a sneak attack. And you do all have your spears with you, but they're currently in the put away position. You're not brandishing them. Would you like to take them out and attempt a sneak attack, or do you still want to talk to the troll? Alright, so he calls the troll. The troll goes, "Oh, hello there. What's going on? Who are you? What do you want?"
What are you doing under my bridge? Or what are your plans under this bridge?
Well, I'm going to stay in this section of the river here for about an hour and a half. I'm going to gather some of the fish from here. I'm going to probably move upriver later in the afternoon. There's a nice little, like I got a deep area of the river. You can get some big catfish down there.
So you're not going to talk to any of my citizens or interfere with us or bother us?
What do you mean not talk? Yeah, I'm not going to talk to your citizens. What are you talking about? I already talked to that lady over there. And he points to somebody and she goes, "Yeah, he did talk to me. He said very rude things." Who was rude? She was rude. Why do you think I have to be the rude one? She's obviously lying.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just tell the troll.
And what? Is it illegal for a troll to be rude now? We are not known as the most mannerly of all the mystical creatures.
Yeah, I would just say if you're not rude, if you have been rude in the past or not.
Mayor, says one of the assistants, "We're not concerned about his rudeness. We're concerned that he's going to kill and eat our children."
Mr. Troll, are you going to kill and eat our children?
Look, I haven't eaten a human child in 4 or 5 months at least. It's not a major part of my diet.
Okay, I'd say no. We have to kick you out then because we don't want you to.
I just told you, I almost never eat them.
Yeah, but if you have before, then.
What is it with you humans and your children? They're not that good. A lot of trolls, they go, "Damn, children are delicious." But I'm not such a huge aficionado of human children. I enjoy the fish in the river here mostly. It's highly unlikely I'm going to eat any of your children.
Well, he says unlikely, so why don't you move out to another city's river?
I picked this spot for a reason. It's a good spot.
Well, I don't know. What am I supposed to? What are my options of dealing with this guy?
Whatever you want is open ended. You ask me questions to pin me down, know things about him, or.
How tall is he? 10 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why don't we hire him to be our bodyguard?
You want to hire me, huh?
For the city.
Okay. My pay, you pay me 1 human child a month. Okay, let me ask you some other questions. Okay, so that was interesting. You interact with me a lot differently than most people do in the question. Obviously, you know who I am. Okay, let me ask you this. So, as an NT female, do you find yourself thinking about fancy stuff or thinking about girl stuff?
Well, define each.
Fancy stuff would be philosophy or psychology stuff or some sort of systems analysis.
I think about that because I have 24/7 in my entire life.
Tell me some of what you think about more specifically.
The thing is now that I'm put on the spot, I can't really. Well, I mean, just today I was thinking about, well, I don't know. It's hard to explain what I think about because it doesn't really make sense. Like I was just wondering how light comes from certain things and not others. But like not electricity light, like certain things.
Illumination.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about, but it doesn't really make sense. I was just kind of like thinking about it in my brain, you know.
Like, why doesn't this produce illumination?
Yeah.
But that does.
Yeah, but not electricity things. So like, I was also thinking about a lot like different colors and how certain. Cause okay, here's the thing: is I think about this a lot. That so for me, I see the color red, and I see so pink. I see the color pink the way I see the color pink. In your brain, in your eyes, I'll never know if the color pink to you looks like the color green to me. So, for example, you could be saying
No,
pink.
yeah, I understand.
Exactly. So, what I was thinking that kind of contradicts with it is that there are certain colors that absorb and emit light differently. For example, you can see something that's white colored, or like if someone's walking down a pitch black street in white clothing, bright clothing, you'll be able to see them better than someone who's walking down the street in pitch dark clothing, right? So that contradicts what my process of thought is, because if we all see different colors, for example, you know, you wouldn't be able to see someone walking down the street in white because to you it would look different. So that's what I was thinking about.
That's smart. I've never heard that before. I've always accepted that you couldn't test the color thing. Hi. That's very interesting.
Am I interrupting?
No, we're live streaming. We're live streaming some NT time. So
And tea time.
you know, I was asking Delilah about what she philosophized about, and she explained the light thing, which I'd heard before. But what I had not heard before was the notion that walking in light clothes in the darkness just it falsifies that.
Yeah.
So
The only other explanation for it is that, or the only other, like, you know, someone could say, like, come back with this is, well, you know, we all might see different colors, but they're still in the same, like, gradient of how bright they are. You know what I mean? That's the only counter to it, but it's kind of
then you get a little concentric circle-y. What I mean by that is this: when they were still trying to prove that the Earth is the center of the universe instead of the sun, as per the Bible.
Does that happen a lot? Can you still hear us, sir?
Yeah, but don't call me sir.
Well, I don't know who you are. So.
That's Jeremy. Oh, that's funny. I like the fact that you called him sir. That's hilarious. Great. Okay, so good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir, and madam.
So, okay, NT. That's very interesting that you ideas and passionate. What I was thinking might be a rebuttal would be that whatever the physical cause of seeing different colors, but calling them the same name, whatever the physical cause of that there was some sort of complementary shift in eye structure that made it resonate the same way in terms of brightness in that fashion. But that's just another kind of concentric circles thing. Anyway, but okay, so that's I never really knew you thought about that stuff at all.
That's one thing about 24/7. If I'm like alone or driving or something like that, like I like will see something and then a lot of things I think about is when anytime I drive, I'm always thinking of a way to redo our traffic system and completely. I constantly am thinking about how I would change our streets and our freeways and everything because our system right now in Southern California is terrible.
I think a lot about why we don't have multiple decks, multiple layers.
Yeah, well, that too, and what I think would ease a lot of traffic is having a separate freeway for trucks, like semis.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because they have bus freeways. So they don't have bus freeways, but they have like a little tunnel that buses can go into on the freeway. On the 10, they have it going. Well, I mean, obviously both ways in the middle of.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, if they can build an extra road, would it make more of an impact on traffic to isolate just the trucks on the extra road?
But here's the thing about the whole having different decks is if we have different, so are you usually talking about different decks on freeways or everywhere in the world?
On the freeways, like
Because,
built up.
yes, I get it. But when we exit, let's say we're exiting onto Fruit, which is where I exited right now. All three of the decks would all come down into one spot and back up traffic on all
Bro, I've
three.
thought about that too.
Yeah.
That's funny. We have never talked about this before,
Yeah.
but we have both thought through this whole thing
Yeah, exactly.
with the decks. And
because I thought about the exact same thing, like, oh, just build another freeway on top of the freeway, you know. But
well, what I was thinking,
bridges here. Some of the bridges here are traffic in one direction is on one level, and traffic in the other direction is on a.
that's actually really smart. What state is that?
Kentucky, if you can believe that.
Utah's traffic system was really good. I liked their traffic system.
it's not very populated. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. But
Let's talk about your feelings.
all right.
Now, we have as ENTPs polar introverted feeling. In general, society thinks girls are more emotional than guys.
I agree, and I think I'm either an extreme example of someone who's super emotional, or because the thing is I've told you this is my theory before. Is the reason? So I'm an ENTP, but I'm very borderline.
You're not borderline.
Well, I think I am because I feel things so deeply, and I think with my heart, not always, but more frequently than a normal ENTP should. And my reason for this is, number one, I'm a girl, and I don't think that's in any way sexist to think that girls are more emotional and emotionally connected than men, which I think is actually a really, really good thing.
They're culturally permitted to be more.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, but I'm not talking about cultural, because even if we live in a society where it was culturally accepted for men to be just as emotional as women, they would not be. It's just the way our brains are wired. But the thing that I'm trying to say is number one, I'm a woman, and number two, I'm a younger woman, and I think that I still feel things a lot more heavily than I will in, let's say, 10 years.
That's true. The thing is, you're definitely not an ENFP because ENFPs don't go. I am potentially more emotional because of the following valid warrants, and then list them 1 and 2, and then say, but even if this, then the following thing.
Yeah.
ENFPs don't do that because that's all TI.
And the reason I think that in a society that it was culture, because I totally, completely agree that women are more culturally accepted to be more emotional, which is not a good thing. I think that it should be more widespread that it's okay for men to be super emotional, it's okay for men to cry, and it's not okay for women to be as emotional as they are at some points, because women do things with a very emotionally charged background, like a very emotional, I guess, motive, more often than men. Not anything crazy like how guys go and, like, shoot up schools or kill their girlfriends and stuff. But
Okay, Delilah, but let me ask you about your feelings. Because
okay,
I
sorry.
think as an FI polar person, you're mistaking a lot of FE stuff for FI. So we do experience bursts of feelings. I've seen it with you. I tell a story about how when we got the letter for Dixie, you burst into tears.
Yeah.
Just because it was adorable or something.
Yeah, because her name was Dick. It was titled to Dixie Strauss, and so I started crying.
Because it made you feel a family valuing or
Yeah,
something.
and I love her. I miss her still, but.
So then, okay, that's FI, that experience of bursting into tears. Now, when you were with your boyfriend, are you likely to just sit there and enjoy the feeling of sitting next to him and looking lovingly at him, or are you more likely to say, "Is everything cool? Are we cool? Okay?"
No, I'm very, very much, most of the time I'd say I'm very much like, oh, let's just sit here and enjoy each other's companies. Unless I'm given a reason, if I'm given even the slightest inkling of that there might be something wrong, I will not sit there and
What
say.
would the inkling be if there might be something wrong?
I don't know. I think I read body language very well. I think I read people very well, and I think I think that's a learned skill.
So you're reading him the whole time.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the whole time, but yeah.
Okay, let's say there's a moment where you fall silent and you just sort of look at each other and you smile and you feel positive towards each other. How long can you sustain that before saying something, getting up, doing something, or otherwise running away from FI?
Well, I mean, I do break the silence a lot.
Okay.
It just depends. I'm not like, okay, like for a second, okay, let's say for 5 seconds we're sitting silently with each other and smiling at each other. I'll probably soon, within the next few seconds, start thinking about, oh, what if he's silent because he's thinking about how much he hates me? Or what if he's silent because he's thinking about that thing I did 2 weeks ago and it just got brought up in his brain? Or what if he's just smiling at me because he's thinking about someone else, kind of thing. So my thoughts will go off into that direction. But I generally won't be like, oh, are you okay? Is everything okay?
What does it mean to feel love or affection for somebody?
I don't know. I can't really explain it.
Okay, well, can you describe the experience of feeling love or affection for somebody in the moment?
I guess, like...
Is there a physical sensation accompanying it?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, yes, there is. But it's like, the thing is like, it's less like the feeling of overwhelming love and more the feeling of overwhelming, don't ever leave me. Or, like, don't die.
Well, okay, look. That is FI. The sense of, like, I don't want to lose you is FI. Okay, that sexual jealousy is FI, and so is possessiveness, and there's a greedy. We all are to some extent. Okay. Now, look, the thing is, what I'm saying is, those experiences are FI experiences. They are experiences directly valuing, but the question is, there's two reflections of that. A lot of times, FI will be expressed as directly valuing the relationship for ENTPs rather than the person. If you're directly valuing the person and you're seeing that experience, what it feels like is a warmth in your chest. And we won't sit there and just experience that for very long before we go, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, for me, I might be like, I love you, Kimberly. I love you.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
We're going to the courthouse right fucking now.
Yeah, right.
No,
exactly.
but I think my expression of that is like silence for a few seconds, and it's like, I want to kiss you, let me just kiss you, and he's like, oh, let's enjoy this kind of thing. When you explain it like that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I do. It's like, I just didn't think that's what, I thought what you meant is more like asking them if something's wrong.
Yeah, what you're talking about is FE feeling is saying, I'm happy. Look, if my significant other is perfectly happy with me, then all's good because I'm not fussy. I don't have a lot of demands. I don't have a lot of concerns. Okay, those are all third slot FE words.
That was exactly my thought. It's like, if you're happy, I'm happy. I'm chilling. So if you're not, then that's, it's only you. I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm gonna check this and see if there's any comments from the internet people.
It's very, very rare with the impulsiveness of what to do with those feelings because I have some really dumb shit off of romantic feelings. Like travel 8 hours to see a girl for a day.
8 hours to go for, yeah, that kind of shit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been dating her for like 2 years. I was 17.
Yeah, I do crazy shit for. I mean,
I'm sticking with it.
In this particular relationship, what I've done for love is abandon everything I used to care about pretty much and replace it with doing tasks for Kimberly.
I'm the same way.
That's a big deal for us, though.
I prioritize my boyfriend, and it's like I'm more like, I wouldn't necessarily abandon the things, but it's like, adapt to his favorite things that he cares about.
That's FE. But look, as you get older, you realize that you gotta have a balanced relationship in which neither party is dominant. But the thing is, you also, as ENTPs, and we're all ENTPs here except for Jeremy, as ENTPs, we like it when somebody else provides the thing that we're supposed to be valuing. Oh, she has FI. She has a preference here. I have no idea what I really want her to do or what, it could be anything. I don't know. Oh, Kimberly wants that thing to do that thing? Now I know what I want to do. Because I don't have to think about what I want anymore. I like being, I want to be with Kimberly. I know that. I want to be in the presence of her. That's the thing, is if that's going to be the case, and I don't really care what we're doing, then I want to do whatever she wants to do. But of course, sometimes that can cause a little bit of disagreement when you go, no, what do you want to do? No, what do you want to do?
That's a constant with me and Miguel. Is I'm just like, no, like this doesn't believe me when I say I would like to do absolutely anything you would like to do. You know what I mean? And it's like he thinks I'm just saying that to like please him, kind of. But it's like no, like genuinely, like what do you want to do? Like,
Right. So, I mean, the thing I had to get used to is I kind of assumed that my job was to come up with shit to do a lot of times, and but Kimberly eventually made me understand she actually prefers and likes to stay home a lot. So she doesn't. I said, well, we could go here, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. She's like, well, can we just stay here and watch TV? And I'm like,
hell yeah, dude.
yes, we can. That sounds great. So that was a relief of a burden. It's like I realized she's pretty chill. She doesn't really need me to come up with a lot of shit for her.
I have to pee. I'm gonna leave.
All right. So this was a live stream event with ENTP daughter Delilah. I want you to think about the fact that when you're reflecting your color thing, note that when we think about colors being attributes of objects, no matter what you think about an object or see something or whatever, and it appears to be external, remember, all experiences of you are manifestations of yourself as the observer.
Yeah.
And all those objective approximations are ways that we pretend as though we can remove the observer from the equation in order to draw equivalency between different things. So don't believe the hype. There is no external world. The entire universe is within you.
Interesting. Do any of you guys go on Reddit? Out of curiosity?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Well, that's surprising. I was just gonna make a reference to it, but
what did you read?
I was just gonna say about how, because you were asking me about like my ENTP stuff and saying it's so weird, and I was like I should do a Reddit AMA and be like, hi, I'm an ENTP female, ask me anything. You know what I mean?
You should.
No, I don't. I feel like that wouldn't get a lot of traction. So I'm sure an ENTP female has done that kind of thing before. So.
Yeah, but you're hot. You just gotta take a picture of yourself showing a little boobage, and you'll be good to go.
With a sign. Yeah.
That must be weird. What's it like being one of the only like 4?
I don't know.
She's not spending enough time thinking about cognitive functions.
I don't spend enough time.
If you metacognitive about your manners of attention, Delilah, you will understand the self and optimize. You're pretty optimal, though. You're a damn good kid.
Thanks.
I love you.
I think so, too.
You're a special lady.
Alright. Thanks.
Okay, so live stream. Yeah, sure. Live stream watchers, this is the end of the live stream. And that was Delilah. And see you, baby. I love you.